I'm feeling stuck. I'm seeking clarity. Every day feels like Groundhog Day. There should be more to life than this. You know, that's their sentiments, their feelings that we've all experienced from time to time. And before I share with you a few tips for getting unstuck and for moving forward, there's a few general observations I have around what's really going on when we're talking about feeling stuck. First of all, I always think that if we're feeling stuck, it's because our expectations as to how things should be is not the same as reality as we're experiencing it. And therefore we're feeling a certain emotion, whether that's stress or frustration or a sense of stuckness. At an extreme, it means that we have sold out on our dreams. You know, and that can be a difficult thing to swallow. Or maybe we just feel that we have compromised too much. Also, when we're feeling stuck, it can be that, you know, life feels like a never-ending to-do list. You know, we've forgotten that we're human beings, not human doings. And, you know, as a human being, we've lost sight of what's possible for us, maybe over a slightly longer time frame. Lastly, and this is an important one, if we're feeling stuck, I always believe that there's some change trying to take place in our lives. So I'm going to share with you 5 tips for getting unstuck and for moving forward. And the really cool thing is each one of these starts with the same letter, the letter C. Now we've come across a few C words already. Compromise, change, I'm seeking clarity. Well, the first tip I'm going to share with you is about contrast. What do I mean by contrast? Contrast very simply means identifying in life or in work what is it that you want more of and what is it that you want less of. And between those two, maybe we can get some ideas as to how to take some steps forward. The second C, the second tip I'm going to share with you is curiosity. You know, all change is preceded by curiosity. We need to get curious around what's possible for us, maybe over different timescales. Tip number 3 is all about comfort zone. Now, comfort zone is something that I speak with groups on quite frequently. What's in comfort zone? Well, within comfort zone is all our routines and all of our habits, you know, and if life feels like a repetitive to-do list, there's a lot of habits and routines that we're doing every day. And of course, habits and routines are not just behavioral habits, they're also thinking habits. Something else that sits inside our sense of comfort zone is the habit we have around how we view ourselves, our own self-identity and what's possible for us. That old adage of better the devil you know also sits within comfort zone. What's outside of comfort zone? Well, outside of comfort zone is new opportunities, new learning, potential. Our sense of potential will always be outside of our comfort zones. But here's the tricky bit. Comfort zone is bordered by the emotions of worry and anxiousness and fear. So to move into a space that maybe has new opportunities and possibilities, we have to move beyond those emotions, and that means taking a risk, feeling uncomfortable, maybe even feeling a little bit vulnerable. The next tip is a practical one. It's all about having conversations, maybe new conversations or different conversations. Now, maybe those conversations are the conversations we have in our own heads, but in my opinion, all change happens because we partake or instigate in new conversations, whether that's with people at home or with people at work or both. Sometimes that new conversation can be exploring new opportunities, and it may also mean that you're approaching someone for advice or just maybe asking for help. Our final tip, and it's one that you've probably not thought of, is compassion, in particular self-compassion. You know, we can all be very tough on ourselves. Maybe we can be a little bit more gentle. Let's not lose sight of the fact that every day you are doing your best, that there is nothing wrong here, that there is nothing wrong with you. Maybe what you're getting though from the environment and from your own sense of emotion is that, you know, some change is trying to take place. Maybe you can get curious. Maybe you can work on creating some contrast around what it is you want more of and what it is that you want less of. That might lead you into having some new conversations. So the last piece I'll leave you with is, as I said earlier, this sense of stuckness. If we reframe it, it means that some change is trying to take place in your life. And maybe you can get curious around what that change might be.